Hi, I'm Tim Miser, Associate Editor for Power Engineering Magazine. Here on a Wednesday afternoon in sunny Orlando at PGI 2016, we just got out of a session about challenges to low-carbon power generation. One of the speakers in that session, Phillip Graeter, he is an energy analyst for Energy Ventures Analysis. Phillip, thanks for making a few minutes for us here.
Thank you for having me.
So you talked in your session about the fate of the CPP, Clean Power Plan. There are some questions about that, given the new administration. I wonder if you'd talk about that. What do you see happening to the CPP?
Yeah, I think that it was one of the most followed environmental regulations to ever come out of the EPA. A lot of twists and turns that we've seen there, starting with stay by the Supreme Court, then the death of one of the Supreme Court justices, then the Court of Appeals moving to an en banc without having the preview of the case, and now with the Trump administration coming in, still a lot of question marks. The way we see it, there are two likely ways forward. Either the EPA will likely pull all of legal support for the case. Interveners like the states, like utility groups, will take over, will appeal to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court will likely strike it down on the merits with the ninth justice appointed by then President Trump. Or the other scenario would be the EPA saying, hey, you know what, we tried to regulate outside the fence. We might have overstepped our authority there. We're going back inside the fence, what people can actually do on the plant level. And so they're going to rescind the rule and rework it and go through the whole public commenting and that entire process.
Well, now that actually leads me kind of to my second question, which was, in the absence of the Clean Power Plan, are there likely to be other federal carbon restrictions in our energy future in the coming decades?
Right. And it is very, very likely, just solely based on the case that, in the case Massachusetts against the EPA, the Supreme Court said that the EPA has to regulate greenhouse gas emissions one way or the other. The EPA then went on to study the endangerment and came up with their endangerment findings, and that is also setting the tone for, okay, we have to regulate CO2 emissions. Like I said, for the second way, the Clean Power Plan could move forward. If you just limit it to inside the fence regulation, that would kind of cover your base there. You're already doing something for carbon. It might not be as strict as what the Obama administration had in mind, but you're limiting carbon emissions. Or if the Clean Power Plan completely gets struck down, the Trump administration could sit back, relax a little bit, and kind of extend the whole process and leave it to the next administration. Or, like I said, come up with a rule that just focuses on emission reductions that can actually be achieved on a plant level.
Okay, thank you. And lastly, what role do you see nuclear power playing in our low carbon future?
I think nuclear power is very, very important to achieve the emission reduction goals that we need to achieve to get to our Paris Agreement goals that we've set worldwide. The challenge right now is to keep our nuclear units alive through the time period until we actually have a stringent federal CO2 program again, and we see states moving towards that. We've seen it in New York in August with a clean energy standard and the zero emission credits towards their upstate nuclear units. We're seeing it now with Illinois passing just last week, passing a bill that helps their struggling nuclear units, and we'll see other states probably following suit. Likely candidates here are Connecticut, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Virginia, to help their nuclear units to extend their life in a low power price world like we see now with low natural gas prices and high renewable penetration.
I see. Well, hey, Phillip, thanks for a few minutes. Thanks for sharing your expertise with the sessions. That's one of the great things about a conference like this, is being able to, to expand your knowledge to the rest of the industry. So we appreciate your time and energy on that. And I think that's going to do it for us on a Wednesday afternoon session here at PGI 2016 in Orlando.